Let's uncover the secrets behind a career with purpose.
Join us as we speak to people that turn their biggest passions into their life's work.
I love it. And inspire you to become the superhero of your own story.
Our guest today is Emin Vojnikovic, co-founder of Indima, a qualification assessment tool that empowers labor market integration for migrants. Emin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Something that we ask all of our guests at our podcast: what brings you energy at the moment outside of your work?
That's a good question. Outside of work?
Yes.
Especially, I would say the last vacation I had was like an energy pump.
Greece.
Greece, yeah. I was in Crete. Enjoyed it 1 week, enjoyed the sun. The sun gives me a lot of energy, I think, too. And also the sea.
You're the second person that we've had that's a sun.
Third?
Wow,
yeah,
it's because the sun
D.
is coming. Yeah, exactly. The vitamin D.
Also makes sense.
Yeah. So can you describe what you do and what Indima is as you would to a family member, someone who has no idea what you're doing?
We help people with international qualification to migrate to European countries by assessing their qualifications and therefore hiring the chances for landing a job, and also helping institutions which evaluate international qualifications to work much faster.
And those would be people from any specific set of countries or really around the world?
Specifically, every country outside of the European Union.
Okay, got you. Go ahead.
And how did you get to work in this area? Like, why immigrants? Why this topic? Was it something personal, or you just saw a problem in it? What was the process?
I mean, it's a quite long story, but I'll try to keep it short.
Go for it, we have time. I'll interrupt you, it's all good.
So it was 2 years ago. I was in my master's study at Linz, JKU. And there a professor organized an initiative called Update Social. And it was about a lot of questions in the social space and to find innovative ideas to solve them. And one question which kind of got me the most was, I think it was, how can we help qualified migrants get faster into the job market? And at the beginning, I just went with the idea and I didn't know the people. So the group also found together at the Update Social event. And the Georg, my co-founder now, was in the team. And he had experience as a migrant consultant and had experienced people like going through the process of qualification recognition, landing a job in Austria and all this. And we kind of thought about how we could make the process much faster,
smoother
and easier for the people. And that's basically how I got into the space and also to know the problem really well. And over the time, I kind of came across a lot of people who had the same issue. Doesn't matter if you're an Austrian or from somewhere inside the European country, everybody knows anyone who had the issue with qualification evaluations.
And a little bit for the context, can you expand on what qualification evaluation is? Because maybe, not everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, especially think of it, you receive a qualification written in Arabic. I'm just assuming nobody can read Arabic here.
Arabic.
Yeah.
So you study at the
assumption.
university, right? And you get, let's say, a bachelor degree there, and you have a diploma. Right.
You have a paper written from a university that you have this kind of educational level in the country.
Yes.
And the thing is, if you want to start working in Austria, if you think of HR departments, they're like we are. They won't understand if it's written in Arabic. They don't know the education system in the country. And qualification evaluations help people understand what is the foreign qualification compared to the Austrian one. Is it equivalent?
Yeah. I think like for me, also like a lot of people who were coming from Ukraine, they had this issue because at the workplace here, for example, doctors were not qualified. They had to go again through some evaluations, additional courses, also the language and so on. I think like there are a lot of challenges that they go through.
Yeah, and a lot of bureaucracy, I would say. And we are trying to minimize the bureaucracy in that space to help people really get faster into the labor market, because we need the people, we need the doctors.
Yeah, and it can take like a ton of time too.
Yeah, usually it takes like 6 to 12 months till you get the results. And you don't even know if the results are like you're fully recognized, you can start, or is it like, oh, I have to do 1 or 2 university courses to have the same level.
But you also mentioned that you were getting in touch with a lot of people who had this problem after you guys kind of came up with the idea. Was that because you had sort of become aware that this was a problem, that then you sort of saw it everywhere? Or was it more so just anecdotally that this was just coming up to you in real life, like, oh wait, this is an issue?
I think both ways. I was more aware of the problem, and because I was into the topic and people knew it, they talked with me about this.
Yeah.
And they kind of raised it to me and told me like they had a friend and he had the issues with the bureaucracy of the credential evaluations.
Yeah.
And that's how people always come and tell me stories about people they know who had the issue.
But the prime motivation of doing it wasn't sort of like you were super passionate about, you know, integration of migrants in like the, you know, the work world, or just generally like super passionate about like the topic of, you know, immigration or whatever, but it was more so just kind of a stumbling into the topic and into the project?
I would say so, yeah. I was stumbling into the topic, and then I kind of, as more I talk with people, I got to love it, and I understood how big the issue is. And basically what motivates me now is helping these people.
Love it. And you're also working on another project, which is similar in a way that it's also about helping people to some extent, but in finding kind of a job and like a career.
The right path.
The right path, right? Which is kind of similar to what we're trying to do somehow. So like, tell us a little bit more about this platform and this venture.
SurfJobs is the second startup we're talking about, and it's a career orientation platform for the young generation, especially like in the age of 13 to 15, 16 years, because that's the first, I would say, adult decision you have to do in that age, because you have the possibility to go as an apprenticeship
to school or
work or any other path you choose. And we try on using media they know. So SurfJobs is built in a short video content platform to kind of educate them which possibilities they have, how are the companies, get insights behind really all the text which you see at forms you read for the applications. And it gives them a good overview about all the possibilities they have in Austria. Because did you know there are over 210 apprenticeship you can do?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. I love it. This stat thrown crazy. So 210 apprenticeship, and you got into this project how?
It involved also my master's degree, because my co-founders were studying with me. And all the idea came up from Robert, our CEO. And he had the idea in the entrepreneurship course we had. And we had like to write the business plan and everything.
As
and
like
plan
a
out
school project.
As a school project, yeah. And then kind of we were at the summer feast at the JKU, and we're thinking about, okay, all the group work together was great with us. And why don't we start anything? And initially we started with a different idea, and then kind of pivoted to that.
To end up there. And has it been working well?
Yeah, so we started that one in 23 in summer, built the first MVP, tested it with young people and also companies, and founded the company in February 24. And
so it's quite recent.
It's quite recent, so more than a year now. And since then we've done, I think, really well. We also educate like apprentice in companies to be kind of brand ambassadors for them.
Cool.
We did over, I think, 40 workshops with them, with companies, different companies, last year.
Crazy.
And have now about 35 to 40 companies at the platform.
Wow, that's a lot. Crazy.
All that in kind of 12 months, you could
say.
Yeah,
super tight. And then also, I guess, building the platform and doing all those things
also the
too.
technical stuff is quite big. Also, we're now kind of more focusing on the social impact and the teachers and young people at schools. So we want to bring really the value into the classroom to kind of have more digital career orientation classes. And there's also a lot of technical resources flowing in because we're building a whole interface for teachers and everything.
Okay, crazy. Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, obviously this connects super well to the topic of the podcast, which is about providing insights into how to find a career that gives you a sense of purpose. And that's also why we're talking to people like you. And one of the things that has kind of motivated the creation of this campaign was the idea that we all spend a lot of, especially kids, like there's this like huge amount of uncertainty about like and confusion over like what do I want to do with my life, especially now. I feel like there's also like more pressure about like finding your path and doing the right thing for, you know, your life, especially at such a young age. And then also there's a lot of jobs that you might find yourself in when you're quite young, like you maybe do an internship or you come out of school and then you have kind of your first job for the summer or something like this. And a lot of them are just like kind of meaningless and not very interesting, right? And so I think it's just super interesting to see how you guys are using like a video platform basically to push that idea further and to kind of showcase all the possibilities in such an accelerated way where it's almost like a repository of information about like how to kind of find a, you know, an interesting path for yourself, at least try. And what is sort of the thinking that goes behind the platform, like in terms of the what you showcase, right? Because there's a lot of aspects that go into what a job is and why it's meaningful, and obviously so much of it differs from person to person, right? Yeah. So what are like the specific characteristics of the jobs that you would like showcase, the apprenticeships that you showcase, and how do you actually create the most transparent insight into what that job looks like for a young person?
So in the platform, we have a few categories of videos we provide. So there is, on the one hand, the inside videos and open apprenticeships of companies. That's like completely handled by the company. We provide them video production or help them with building the brand ambassadors, and they kind of produce these videos. And we always try to get them to be as transparent and kind of close to the target group they want to reach. Because you cannot kind of speak in a video in a high level or really technical level, because there is not an understanding for a 14-year-old, for example, what a CNC machine is. They've never seen it. You have to show it. You have to explain it. What does it mean? What does the word CNC actually mean?
What actually does it mean?
Exactly.
I mean, I cannot answer that. Okay,
great. No one knows.
We'll skip the question. Maybe at the end. I'll have to search it up.
There we go.
And then we have a third category, which is like profession videos.
Okay.
And the profession videos are totally in our control. So we want to really give good insights on what you have to bring into that profession. How have you to be in that profession? What should you like? What should you dislike? What are the bad things in the profession? And also, what is the pay scale and all the, I don't know how to call it, admin stuff. And we try with the profession videos to be as transparent as possible. And these one find also the most traffic for the young people, because we enhance it also with further information in text-based, because you cannot really build hundreds of videos because not everything will be seen at the platform. And what we further do, what nobody sees actually, is how a platform works with recommendation systems. And that's like, if young people are more interested into technical videos and descriptions and like it more often, share it with friends. Or we also have like a personality test.
Oh, that's cool.
Which also kind of then recommends more the direction you would like.
Yeah.
But you can still, we pop up with different videos from different categories. And if you watch them longer, it shifts your interest.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of unknowingly find the interest of the young people.
Without them necessarily knowing what the interest is. Crazy. It's like the algorithm, you know them better than they know themselves.
Sometimes,
It's crazy.
That's really interesting. That would be my question, actually. So like, let's say a young person goes on the platform, right? And they have all of these different options. And you partly already answered. You have like this test, right, that they go through. Basically, how do you help them to go through this, like, I don't know, 100 videos and information to actually find their path or to actually find their interest where they want to focus more? Maybe like, how does this test looks like? What exactly is there? What helps them decide?
So we use actually known tests. It's called RIASAC. And it kind of has...
RIASAC.
RIASAC.
The real sack.
And it kind of categorizes based on, I think it's 18 questions.
Okay.
What kind of direction of profession would fit you the best? Like, is it more entrepreneurial? Is it more technical? Or is it more like social with people? And based on that, if you solve the test, we can kind of more recommend the professions and also the company videos and insights in that space. And I think at the end, the young people decide on their own what they like, because
of course
they're used to scrolling through hundreds of videos, and
you just do that every day already.
And if you watch like at the watch times, it's really short, so you have to catch them early, or if you see they watch a video longer, they're more likely to apply to it or research it more. And I think the only thing we do is like for them unknowingly supporting in giving them the right direction through interest.
And do you see already some results? Is there traction? Like, can you say that some young people already found their path or on the path? Like, how do you quantify it maybe?
I don't have the actual numbers, but we always do questionnaires if we're in some classes. And I don't want to lie, but it's like 70 to 80% of the young people would recommend it.
Wow.
And also they kind of found new professions. So there's a story. I was once in a class and I was asking them how they liked it and did they find or experience anything they didn't know beforehand. And one girl was raising their hand and was like, I found an apprenticeship. I didn't know it even existed. So I think that's the impact we have on the youth, like broaden the horizon and showing them, hey, that's also out there. You can do that too.
Yeah, that's dope. And I mean, most of us, like, we just didn't have that when we were kids. Like when we were 14, 15, 16, you don't have this like mega access, which in a way is good because it's not as overwhelming. So you kind of get like shoved into a direction. And I just know so many people that are so incapacitated by like the, choice that is out there, but also it sucks because you can never maybe find the thing that you would be like super stoked on. And like, you kind of jumped into a certain path and then you're kind of stuck and it's like, I don't really know if I like this. So getting it right already from the beginning is like huge. So that's awesome.
And there's a lot of numbers like telling like young people like 20 or 30% cut off their apprenticeship in the first year.
Really?
And that's really a high number. And that's because the fit of the person and the job doesn't fit.
Yeah. So limiting that is super valuable.
And we try, like, our goal is, or vision is to reduce the number and to kind of help the young people to really find their path and the job they love, and they'll stay there.
Okay.
Crazy.
And actually, like, what is your take on, because you said with this business that you're working on right now, in the beginning, it was taking one direction, but then you pivoted, right? Then there was another direction. And can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, in general, like, let's just clarify the term pivoted, right? To pivot, because maybe not everybody knows it. And like, what's your relationship to it? Like, because you stop doing one thing and you're switching to another, and it's like testing. And a lot of people, they think like you need to push until a certain moment, right? When is the right time to stop and change? And what is your relationship to pivoting?
My relation to pivoting, I think it's necessary and I love it, because you learn something that it doesn't work, so you have to find a different way. And I recently saw a video from Michael from the YC.
YC,
the
Y
incubator.
Combinator?
Yeah. And he told like, if you have a screwdriver and the problem was like screwing in something and it doesn't work, don't go with your screwdriver to a different market and try it, I don't know, and give it to a nurse because she doesn't know or he what to do with it. You have to kind of change the product. The product is the problem, not the market, because the problem is still there. The mechanic wants to screw something in.
Yeah.
And I think till you find like the real product market fit, you have to kind of pivot your way through it.
Mm-hmm. And probably the same logic can be applied to finding jobs, right? Like the young people and then finding them in their career, trying out different things.
Yeah, because there is not one job you do your whole life. I think there is people out there who work like 40, 50 years in the same profession.
Yeah.
But I think the young generation especially has a mindset of constantly changing their path and also
more mobility
and what they want really and finding themselves.
Yeah.
And we help them in the first stage find the first path. And if you change after 2 or 4 or 5 years, you still had a good time because you did something you loved at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there is some time in your life where you want to change.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going from being an employee to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
If you have asked me like 5-6 years ago, I would never thought of the idea.
Mm-hmm. And do you spend a lot of time with the target audience, like with the kids and the users who actually use the project? And like, what are some of the biggest challenges actually that they face in finding kind of a path forward for themselves? Other than obviously knowing about them, because that's what you guys are trying to solve. But I'm curious kind of the tangential, because maybe there's some people watching that might actually be interested in, them not being alone in some of those challenges, right?
I think one challenge we always see is like kind of making it interesting and also making the young generation aware that they have at one point to choose a path.
Mm-hmm.
Because this generation seems like, we got time and I can do that, and afterwards I'll switch that.
Yeah.
It's no awareness of the urgency that at some point after you finish 9th grade in Austria, you have to choose. Are you going to school or are you going to work?
Yeah.
And it's kind of lacking this awareness. That's a challenge for them. And I also think it's underrepresented in school, choosing your path.
100%.
I think that's the two most or biggest challenges I've seen so far.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge systemic component. And for you, when you were a kid, did you think that you would become at some point an entrepreneur?
Oh, no.
No?
I always had like my career ladder in front of me, and I was thinking like I'm going to be an engineer.
Okay.
Wow.
I am, but I switched now my path.
Okay. And like, why?
Good question. I was working like 5 years as an automation engineer, and I did my bachelor's on the side, and then after finishing my bachelor, I was at the moment thinking like, okay, now I have the degree, but something's missing. Like, I don't want to go like doing something different in the same company or going the career ladder up. I want to broaden my horizon and learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make, how you call it, educational leave in Austria, where you have 1 year free.
Yeah.
And do my master's. And basically, the whole master's degree broadened my horizon and showed me what possibilities are out there and how innovation works and how entrepreneurship works, and that everybody struggles and everybody has good ideas, but at some point in your life you have just to take the scary step and step into it. Yeah. And especially this decision why I chose to be an entrepreneur was because I had a good job offer at a consultancy in Austria. And they were like, we need 100% commitment. So we know you're doing Indima and you like helping people and building the product, but that's not possible on the side. We suggest you to try it out, go for it. And if it doesn't work out, you're free to come back.
Wow,
this
dude,
is like
silver platter.
Best case scenario.
That's
It's
so
like
cool.
literally-
And that was like the motivation I had, like, okay, if they say it, I have to try.
Yeah,
That's so
I have to try.
I wish every workplace was as supportive and
You know what?
actually
They
have
believed in you.
possibility to fall back if in case.
That would be
something
amazing.
happens.
I mean, maybe they just believed in you, but didn't think you would be a good fit. So they were like, he goes for it, he'll never come back.
No, I got the offer already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, that's amazing.
It was
That's
like
so
at the
cool.
offer signing, they told me that.
Oh,
So if you want to sign, it's going to be 100% commitment. And
But you don't have to. If you can choose. You can
Just
come
That's
back.
try it
so
out.
cool.
So cool. Oh my God, that's amazing.
But
and
also,
do you regret it?
no, not a minute.
and also like an interesting thing is that you not only became entrepreneur, you became social entrepreneur. Why? Why is it important for you? Why impact?
I think because I'm not money driven. I think everybody likes to have a living and have the money, but over the time being an entrepreneur, you have so many downsides and you earn almost nothing the first months, years. And the only motivation you could have is some purpose. And my purpose is like trying to help international people or the young generation. And if you see you can bring the value to the people, it's what motivates
very
you to
motivating.
go through the hard times of entrepreneurship.
So it's literally, if I was to summarize, it's like you were like, if I'm going to be doing this for impact or no impact, I'm not going to make money either way at the beginning. So might as well have something that's like very motivational and very inspiring and still make money from it, right? Because I mean, now like Indima is also, there's like huge value in that. And then also your other, venture also has value and is also bringing in like some like a salary, right? So clearly it's already kind of, paying off in the sense that at least it's something that is not, you're not just doing this as a volunteer forever, right?
Yeah. And I think it is just, you have to love it because you have to go through the hard times.
Yeah.
There have been many moments in the last 1.5, 2 years where I thought like, oh, I'm gonna quit. Why I'm doing that? I can't afford a good living like I had before as an employee, and there's so many downsides. Things break, and there is a lot of downsides, but you appreciate even more if you have small upsides or a recognition from an award or something. If you enjoy working with the people you co-founded the companies with. And these small moments lift you again up, and then the value you bring to the people.
Yeah, I feel like the balance is still needed, right? That you build an impactful venture, but it still needs to bring some money to achieve financial sustainability. How does this look for Indima? How does financial sustainability looks for your project?
So interesting, Indima is also kind of pivoting like the market right now, because we saw in the governmental space, we actually targeted first. It's long sales cycles, and till you get like the first money, it will take a lot of time. And we want to more bring the value really to the people working in organizations or governmental institutions, or really migrants using it on their own and having the value. And we monetize it like doing a qualification evaluation costs 20 euros right now at our platform. And if you compare it to the classic governmental institutions, it's like 150 to 200 euros. So it's a very cheap first pre-assessment for the people. which is delivered within 1 hour.
And we're
instead of
talking
months.
B2C here, right? So like
Yeah.
anyone can just use your platform in order to go through
Qualification recognition.
qualification recognition, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
QR.
And I think the value is, first of all, we save them a lot of time and also money, but we still kind of monetize it by getting some money from the users. And that's how we try to make it financially stable and not like often in the space of social entrepreneurship dependent on some fundings or some governmental things. We want to really try to make it sustainable.
So like talking percentage wise, do you also have some grants as well? Like what is the percentage between, let's say, grants, public funding, investment, and the money that are already coming from the business, from paying customers?
We don't have any funds, or the only thing we had was at the beginning like the awards or the SIA,
Like social impact awards.
yeah, these things. And now at the moment it's just self-funding, and also from our business advisor and co-founder, which puts in resources but not money. And basically that's the path we follow. So we never looked into really funding or to apply for anything, because I think also the process of getting funding in Austria is really bureaucratic and long, and it would kind of
slow you down maybe.
yeah, because it's really important to have a short product to market time. You have to develop fast, iterate often, like you said, pivot. I like to pivot. And the funding is like, you cannot work on the problem or solve the problem till you apply the funding, and you need like 2 or 3 months to write all the bureaucratic stuff for the funding.
Run us through a little bit more your background, because you said you were an engineer, you grew up in Linz, you went to like corporate a little bit, but you yourself come from, you know, to some extent migrant background, in the sense that you're second generation
Now we know.
Balkan, from Bosnia. And is that like culturally, generally, like people in your family, is there an entrepreneurial culture? Is that like common for people to like build companies in, you know, your family? Was there any touch points towards entrepreneurship when you were growing up?
I would say it was quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Because if you're coming from a migrant background, like speaking for my parents now, the wartime, the Balkan War and everything, it was always the mindset of having stability, having a fixed income, having a living, and never thinking of big risks taking financially, because you know how it is having nothing.
Totally.
And you don't want to go back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of if I speak generally and assume for Balkan people, the mindset they have, like, we need stability. We always need frozen food because there could be hard times, and you know, there's always that thinking.
They are ready.
In the older generation, especially.
For sure. But it's funny because I remember during the Impact Blueprint, we had a conversation with Jure from Slovenia, and we were talking about the connotations that surround entrepreneurship. And in his mind and his kind of perspective, when they were growing up, like not just social entrepreneurship, but just entrepreneurship in general was kind of like really looked down upon, because it was sort of associated to like, oh, they're gonna steal from us, for example. Like those are like the bad people. Those are the ones that are gonna like, you know, abuse of us and take advantage of us, like the workers, and then just like take our money and stuff. And I mean, maybe you can also speak on this, because I don't know how it is in Ukraine, but I just remember thinking to myself, like, you know, I grew up in America and like, or North America, and it's like such a different relationship to it, right? Like it's just like
completely
hyper entrepreneurship focused, way more like we revere entrepreneurs and all these kinds of people. So was it, first of all, like, is that actually something that you also saw from kind of that, you know, heritage? And then did you have the feeling that there were assumptions that were made from maybe your family or some of the people, you mentioned you had cousins in Croatia, right, where I was like just a few days ago, like, people in your family that are aware of the stuff that you do, like, do they understand it? Are they supportive? What's kind of how has that experience been for you?
To answer the last question, everybody's supportive. So that's what I love. But there have been moments and talks where someone tells you like, don't you want to go to a real job and earn money and stuff like that? And I was like,
Oh God.
I have a job.
Yeah.
I'm working like 12, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then there's my mother who sees me working like the whole day and whole night. And she's like often, why are you doing that? You're working 12 hours and...
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much work. Like just
find yourself a normal job.
Yeah, you could work 9 to 5, earn decent money, live a good life, but at the end, everybody understands like that's the path I chose.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna switch back.
Yeah,
either you support
or you
don't.
Yeah, you don't give them a choice. Basically,
yeah, you don't have a choice. You have to support.
Yeah, exactly. If you love me, you support.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, I feel like in Ukraine it was after the 90s, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, there were two camps. Those who still loved stability and were super used to this communistic, everything is like in order way, and like you have this stable job for, I don't know, 50 years. And those who were more like, okay, like everything is collapsing and I'm just going to find my own path. So that's, I think, how Ukrainian first entrepreneurial spirit also was born in the 90s, exactly when in your country there was war. So yeah, interesting also to draw the parallel.
And I also think a big topic is like, it's more on the older generation, which has this thinking of stability, because they went through the hard times.
Yes.
And I didn't. I lived a good life. I had everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And I have also the buffer to take risks. You know,
totally. Yeah, it is
I can
also
fall back on my parents if I need housing or something.
Yeah,
I can fall back on funds I saved during my being employed.
Yeah,
and that's why I can take more risk and more riskier things doing that. And I think the younger generation is like the second migrant generation is more into the entrepreneurial spirit than the first ones.
Yeah. There's less aversion to risk for sure. And on this kind of topic, but through a different lens, because also, what Indima does is also like it's working with immigrants, and like immigrants right now are like in the crossfires in like many, many different countries. It's super complex politically, and it is like a very political topic by nature now. And not only, but like quite a bit, and I mean, like I can only imagine how complex that must be also in Austria with shifts in governments, and also the whole narrative around immigration has generally not been super positive, right, and super welcoming. So how have you guys been able to sort of walk this line of working on like a topic that's like really complex and like really politicized in many ways, but still kind of like not get so involved in the chaos and still like deliver value to people that need it, right?
I don't see it really political. It's always made political. It's always
the nature of it isn't necessarily, but it's always happening. But it's like,
but if you understand the underlying problem of Austrians don't have many kids, we don't have a growing economy here, we are missing skilled workers. Where are we gonna get them? Yeah. If we don't get enough kids for the next generation, how do we pay the pensions for the older? You actually need these people, and it's often kind of always in the bad light and never told the good stories of people who flee the war and came here as doctors and working in our hospitals and helping people every day. And that's actually, I always think, sad, because there is so much good stories of people migrating to any country, not just Austria, and delivering really value to the
100%.
country and the economy, because you pay your taxes, you're a doctor, you help people, you're an engineer, you build a building,
Yeah.
you know, you do things for the country. And on TV and media, it's always the bad side, which is spread, because bad news spread easier than good news.
Sure.
That's known for marketing.
Yeah, and it's easy also to like take, use like immigrants and stuff as a scapegoat. So
Yeah. And that's my view on the whole topic. So,
But do you guys find yourself being pulled into like political directions, even though you don't necessarily want to do that? Like, how do you guys also manage the complexity of the topic as an organization?
we try to avoid it, like getting a political color or something.
Yeah.
We're completely neutral, because we think
It shouldn't be a political.
it shouldn't be a political topic, right? And we never talk about it as a political topic. And we try to pick out, I don't know, for marketing, like phrases where from all of the different parties there is something said about the urgency and the need of solving the problem.
So playing kind of both sides, just to keep it kind of neutral.
Yeah.
And have you guys had pushback in kind of what you're doing from certain people? Or has
I've heard like behind closed doors,
Okay.
like why is it supported so much from persons or people? That was the only pushback I experienced so far, but
Good.
it was never like some
Yeah,
big
yeah.
media thing pushing back Indima.
I hope not. That would be a bummer. Definitely.
Coming back a little bit to the money topic, because I feel like there is always this myth, let's say, that if you are building an impactful venture, you're not able to make money. What do you think about that? Can impact and money coexist?
Oh yeah, impact can make you very rich, I would say. I think the misconception happens because you have to find a sustainable business model. in the impact-
Financially as well.
Yeah,
Financially
financial business
sustainable.
model to kind of have a sustainable business running. And a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of, but the most known social enterprises don't have like a sustainable business model where they earn money besides of funding and all the other things. And it's just a myth, because there is possibility. You can do something good for the world and also make a good living.
I think you're the first person that we spoke to that said you could actually become rich.
Really?
Yeah, most of the people we spoke to, they're just like, yeah, you have to, it definitely coexists. That's like the majority are saying that it can definitely coexist and you don't have to choose. But for most people, it can coexist enough that you can like make a decent living, but not like you can become rich.
That's strange.
Yeah,
Because I think I remember like at the SIA in Heidelberg, someone was talking about his social enterprise and a friend of his, and he was like having a good living from the social enterprise, and his friend was like rich
oh yeah,
and has a social enterprise.
crazy.
But I think you're also the first one who is not using public funds as one of their monetary, like revenue streams. That's also something interesting. Like you're relying solely on your
True, as like
on
building
paying
like a
customers.
product
Yeah.
and just embedding it super deeply into the product.
Yeah. I think that's the mindset we had from the beginning. We want to build a business, and to build a business, you have to be sustainable financially.
Sure.
And not dependent on
Yeah.
funds. And if we can build a business and provide a big impact to the world, why not?
Obviously, you've picked up a lot in this, few years of doing this kind of work. Like you learn a lot along the way, obviously, and there's a lot of failures, definitely.
Still learning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, right? It never stops, definitely. But are there any specific learnings that come to mind, things that you kind of picked up along the way that you think are, especially about kind of your role in all of this and kind of doing all of this work, that you think would be valuable for maybe somebody who might be a little bit confused, might be just starting out a project? yeah, anything maybe you can kind of share about those kind of learning experiences that you might have had.
I would say the first learning I had was like talk to potential customers as fast as possible. You don't have to have a product.
Yeah.
You can talk about a vision, can show a prototype, doesn't have to work fully. Get the feedback and build a product based on what the customer really needs, not what you think the customer needs.
Yeah.
That's a common issue, I think, in business
Almost
generally,
everyone.
not just social business.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the second biggest thing is sometimes you have just to take the risk and accept it.
Mm-hmm.
People are kind of scared of risk in business, but it's like something you have to deal with daily. And put yourself out there, even if you're kind of scared or you don't want to be in the public and you don't want to kind of share with everyone your idea because you think it's a genius $1 billion idea. Trust me, just talk with everybody, present it, get the feedback, and kind of find your way to the ideal product.
And speaking of getting out there, you were on 2 minutes for 2 million, which for anyone who's not like German or Austrian, I think it's safe to kind of describe it as like the Shark Tank of Austria.
Yeah, I always do it like that.
Yeah, it's very similar.
It's the Austrian
super
Shark
similar.
Tank.
It's the Austrian Shark Tank, which is super crazy, like such a cool
Yes.
experience. So how was that experience for you? That must have been pretty terrifying.
It was terrifying, but it was more terrifying like the preparation time.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I couldn't imagine how it is to be on television, how it's gonna be the show, if I'm gonna know my 2-minute texts, and I don't know, I also feared kind of the response of the public.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's like...
Because you said it earlier, it's a political topic and you could have somebody pushing you back. Misunderstanding,
right?
yeah. But it was the best experience I had.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was an intense time, like preparing really good for the show. And also being at the show, at first I was super cool. I know the text. I had like 150 recordings of myself on my cell phone.
Wow.
I don't like to take pictures, actually. It's crazy. It's a big sign. And I was super chill. We were there like 4 to 5 hours. And the actual recording is like taking half an hour to an hour. And you're up front waiting, and everybody was nervous. Like I was with my communication coach, Alessa Praska, who supported me in preparation.
Cool.
Georg and the Huima group. And they all were kind of more nervous than I was.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, that's
Because I was so sure. I was like,
Yeah,
I got
this.
Yeah.
I got this. But then the moment came where you stand like on the backside of the door, which is opening, and you have to go in.
stressful.
Yeah, and the investors are running on the back of you, and everybody's greeting you. Hello, Chris Scott. Servus, And I was just like in my funnel. I was just thinking of the text. Okay, I have to start with this phrase. I'm Emin. You have to remember that.
Don't say I'm Thomas. Yeah.
Don't say I'm Indima.
It's funny.
And the moment the door opened, my mouth was
Blackout.
completely dry.
Fuck.
I was like, oh, can I say anything?
No.
And then everything went well.
Okay.
So I'm super happy how it went.
You remember the text.
Yeah, I remembered
Perfect.
everything, and it was almost on point. I was like 2 or 3 seconds faster. So
Awesome.
perfect
Look at
timing.
you.
Mhm.
And response?
Amazing. We got a lot of visitors. We got a lot of people reaching out to us. We got a lot of governmental organizations also internationally reaching out to us.
Wow.
It was a fantastic response. Also on the marketing side, like we did before this show was released officially. And I'm super happy, but I would think twice doing it again because it's quite intense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I also read somewhere on one of your LinkedIn posts, correct me if I'm wrong, that you are not like the biggest fan of like public speaking
True.
and being in front of the camera. But what I
3
remember,
cameras.
3 cameras.
Wow. Can we shut one down?
Yeah.
But I also remember you said that this is something that you are developing right now, that you are pushing yourself. And this is also something that like you just sometimes need to go into this unknown, like take the risk. Like how do you look at this? What's your perception?
I always think like, what's going to happen if I don't do this? Yeah, what's the worst case? And there is no worst case. Like, if I think good about me, why should I care about what people think, how I presented it? And it's still like 3 cameras here doing the podcast. It's a challenge. I'm nervous, or was. And you have to go out of your comfort zone to kind of reach the next level. I was presenting like Indima also in front of 150, 200 people. And that's the challenges where you grow personally. And if I ever go back in a different path, it's something I learned for me, and which brings value wherever I go.
Yeah. Also talking to girls.
Yeah.
No, but it's
not 150 at the same time.
Oh boy.
I got the gist.
No, but it's also interesting because from some of the surveys with Social Impact Award, almost always what people say is some of the most valuable experiences that they have at SIA, the ones that like stick with them the most, are the pitches. Because it's the ones that for most people, because it's an early stage support program, they've never done that before in their life. Yeah. So it's really their first time like going in front of the camera or going in front of an audience and actually having to like pitch their idea. And most of the time, like everybody's scared, but everybody speaks good about it. No one is like, I never want to do this again. They're always like, that was a thrill. And like, I'm really glad that I got to do that. And it always gets carried along with other, with people in other jobs, whatever they decide to do. It's like one of those kind of universal skills where you just kind of build that confidence, which usually is one of the biggest steps towards becoming successful as an entrepreneur too.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's always like the adrenaline kick.
Yeah.
After you finish your presentation
You're
somewhere.
like,
I'm the best and everything.
When you get good feedback.
I mean, you have to have the mindset like
for sure
to also kind of care about bad feedback, like
of course
accepting it and thinking about it, but don't get it personally.
For sure.
Because it's maybe about your business model. It's not about you. Yes. As a person.
Sure.
But I was just thinking about this when we were preparing for this podcast, because I realized, didn't we actually roast your pitch like 2 years ago?
Yeah, we had the session like roast your pitch.
Yeah, and you were there too.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it was just me.
You too were on my roast. Yeah.
Oh
I remember.
God.
It was the oh no, I can't remember. It's bad time.
I remember
it's
we were like, Emin, you were terrible. We roasted it super hard. Yeah, but that's funny that we talk about this because it's actually coming back to me. I remember like you were
sitting on the couch.
We were sitting on the couch, and I remember you were sharing your the work that you're doing, and I was like, damn, this is actually a really cool idea. I remember thinking this. Yeah, and then we hit it off. Love it.
Well, I'm also biased because I'm also working with migrants, so like or refugees. So I'm always in support of such ideas.
Yeah.
Good thing.
We need more.
So no roasting today.
No roasting. No. Are you kidding? Also, look where you are now. Like, it's so cool, actually. Yeah, it's also so cool to see that because we've seen you from afar, right? Like, it was 2 years ago or something? And
23.
It was 23. And it's like, I remember when we were just talking after the pitch, when we went for drinks and you were just sharing about your experience and everything was so fresh. And now when you came in here, you were like, oh yeah, I was at the tower, like having meetings with our shareholders. And I'm like, what? Like, this is such a crazy development. Like, it's really cool progress.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Shall we switch to our fun questions?
We have a few questions. They're not necessarily, they're a bit more fun. They're a little bit, funkier. Let's call them that. Yeah, because we have sort of like 8 minutes left. So I have a question. Do you have a hot take or an unpopular opinion about social entrepreneurship?
An unpopular opinion?
Yeah.
My personal or
from
the outside? That's a hard one.
You can also come back to it.
Can we go to the next question? I'll think about it in the back.
Can you be successful while finding work-life balance?
No.
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 Why not?
Tell me more.
You have to put in the work to really get the results. There is, I think, especially in the early stage of a startup, there's almost no work-life balance.
Crazy.
I would say like the whole weekends I'm working, and
But how do you manage your mental health?
like here and
I
there.
don't. No.
I'm still good. No, but it's, if you're passionate about something, you just want to do it.
You don't
Sometimes
think about it.
it's like 11 p.m. at night, and I'm sitting there and I see my laptop at the desk, and I'm thinking about a solution to a problem on the product or something, and I'm just like, okay, sit down, do it,
And then
because
go to sleep.
I want to get this thing
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, you're
And
locked in.
Yeah.
But still, do you do something, like what are the activities that you do outside of your work? Because I imagine like you still go, I don't know, to the gym or like in the nature.
Do I look like I go to the gym?
Yes, exactly.
No, thanks. But no, I don't go to the gym.
You're on vacation for a week.
Yeah, the things I like to do is like meeting up with friends and also talking about different topics than just the
Yeah.
business, and getting my mind off all the work and all the hard
Yeah.
times or the good times. I'm just with my friends and we are talking
Little beer.
different stuff than business.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So
that's what I enjoy, and gives me also some energy, and
Nice.
going out, taking
Yeah.
the time also for vacation.
Yeah.
Here we go. So there is some balance involved.
Yeah, of course.
But if you compare it like
at the very
work
beginning.
to the life,
Yeah, sure.
it is like 90% to 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but it works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
That's
say
the
I'm a
most important thing.
person which is aware that it's like that for me, and I want to invest that into the work I do, and I love to do it.
Mm-hmm. I
Perfect.
think it's also
All that
very
matters.
individual.
Totally. Go for it.
It's better to make money. Okay. Is this true or false already?
No. I mean, these are just kind of open-ended questions. So you can go for the, it's better to make more mistakes.
Okay. It's better to make more mistakes and move faster than being slower and more calculated.
Fast mistakes.
Yes, we already.
You have to learn, you have to pivot.
Pivoting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like the mindset.
Yeah.
With every mistake you learn something, and
Mhm.
that's the mindset you should have.
And do you think that anybody can find their purpose if they look hard enough?
If they look hard enough, yes. But I think people might struggle to really find their purpose in life. I recently read some good books like The Big Five of Life and The Café am Rande der Welt, at the corner of the world. Really good books, like about finding yourself and why are you here? What do you want to do actually? And if you think about these questions a lot, you may come across your purpose of existence
Or at least maybe work.
or life.
Yeah, or life. I mean,
I'll
life
see
is
it more.
scary.
I'll see it more as a life and existence
Yeah.
thing, because work is just a part,
Part
of
of
life.
that,
but
yeah.
you have to
Make
find the
pieces
purpose
fit. Mhm.
of the whole life to also be happy at work, because it's one piece of life.
And do you feel like you're coming to finding yours, or you're still pretty far from that?
I think I know what I want, and I think I found my purpose, and my purpose is, how I like to say it, building digital products to help people, and that's what I'm trying to do with both startups.
Yeah, and clearly it's paying off also. Awesome. And do you want to close this off with the reflection question?
Sure. The reflection question that we have for you today is basically
That was so cool. The reflection question we have for you today
It's like moderating
yeah,
something.
Yeah, exactly.
and sometimes
Tell us.
switch into like a news anchor.
The
or
journalist,
something. Exactly.
Olga.
Okay, let me sit like...
Yeah, exactly. And then the clock starts ticking, ding, ding, you know?
You have 3 minutes to answer. What advice would you actually give your younger self who was struggling to figure out whether or not this was the path for you?
try out more things and don't be scared of risk.
But risk is scary, man.
Exactly.
Risk is scary, but you never know if you don't take the first step.
Just gotta go for it.
I guess it's again about pivoting, right? It's like trying out different things. You see you don't like it. Okay, let's switch to another one, another one, another one, until you find something that actually clicks with you.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it on the first shot. So try it out, see how it fits, then try the next thing.
Love it. Bar. Cool. We can close it off here.
Amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
This is
Thanks,
an
man.
awesome
It was so
conversation.
cool.
Super
Nice.
cool.
I had super fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome.
It's always good to chat with you guys.
I'm running a business with 25 people. I do as much as every other manager. So, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. I work my butt off daily, having two very small children. And like, it's a lot. And I should be proud of that.